Hey guys, I'm gonna prep my skin with the Caudalie Beauty Elixir Spray, and you can also use this to set your makeup later, but I like to use it before because it feels amazing and smells so good, and it kind of helps with giving your skin like that glowing, dewy look already before you even do anything else to your skin. So I'm just gonna prime my eyes before I move on to eyeshadow with an Essence eyeshadow base, and I'm gonna be using all MakeupGeek shadows actually for this tutorial. I didn't even plan on doing that, but I just really liked the colors, so I did like a really light kind of transition. It's barely even noticeable, and then I'm going in with this warmer like orangey tone brown, and this is matte, and this is going to go into the crease and the outer corner, and I'm just kind of building it up to the intensity that I want, making sure it's super soft. And then I'm going to darken up the outer corner a little bit with Cocoa Bear, I believe this is called, and I love this color so much. It's a really deep like reddy brown, and I'm just kind of like making sure everything looks very warm tone and super soft and blended. I also dragged a bit of the Cocoa Bear into the crease just to deepen it up even more because I wanted the crease to be darker, but as I go along I just make sure that everything really transitions and blends well. So now I'm going to take this really gorgeous shade. I'll have the names to everything in the description box below, but this is sort of like a pinky champagne like warm shimmery color, and I'm applying that all over my lid area pretty much that I didn't apply any of the darker matte eyeshadows. So I'm focusing most of it on the middle part of the lid because I will be darkening up the outer corners with a darker like copper bronze, and this is called Flamethrower, and it's also one of their foiled eyeshadows, and I'm so impressed with their foiled eyeshadows. They have incredible pigmentation, and they're still really easy to blend out and kind of blend into other colors. So I went ahead and blended out the edges a little bit just to make sure everything was super soft, of course. And to highlight the inner corners, I'm using a very light champagne-y shimmery color. This is also a foiled eyeshadow, and I thought that it kind of gave it a really nice gradient from the light to like a darker bronze color. So to define my lash line, I didn't want to use a harsh liquid line because I wanted the eyeshadow to really be the focus. So I took a dark matte brown, and I'm just applying that like right onto my lash line and kind of making it like smudged and smoky. And then even closer to my actual lashes, I used black, and this is just going to give an even better like more natural looking gradient from the dark brown to the black. I applied some of my Jordana Best Lash Extreme Mascara off camera to save some time, and then I filled in my eyebrows. I believe this is called the Bodyography eyebrow like powder trio. I'll have again everything listed in the description box just in case you guys are curious, but this is how I typically fill in my eyebrows. I really prefer using powder recently. I kind of focus more on the like outer tails of the brows first, making them a bit darker, and then I kind of just fade the color inwards and then up to the very beginning of my brows. And then as always, I set them in place using the Essence Clear Lash and Brow Gel. Now moving on to the rest of the face, I will be using the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer, and of course just use that under my eyes to get rid of any dark circles, and I'm just blending it out a little bit. You really don't need much with this, and it covers a lot, but it still looks really natural and feels pretty lightweight on your skin. I also ended up putting some of this around my nose because it also conceals redness really well and looks really natural. And then for the rest of my face, I mixed my NARS Tinted Moisturizer with my Jouer Luminizing Moisture Tint. That was like really hard to say, and I just put it all over my face. I really love the Jouer Moisture Tint because it has the most beautiful like dewy finish, but it doesn't look greasy or anything. It's so pretty. It looks extremely natural and kind of like your skin just naturally glows. So that's why I chose to use this one for this tutorial. And I went ahead and just blended it all out and buffed it out with a little kabuki brush. And then I set my under eye area with the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores powder, which is my all-time favorite powder for setting the under eye area because it doesn't look cakey ever. And then I set the rest of my face using my Rimmel Stay Matte powder, which I was in need of a new one, so thanks to Rimmel for that one. And then I applied the first crease color into or on the bottom lash line area and almost all the way into the inner corner. I just wanted to give a little bit of smokiness and extra definition, and I highlighted the bottom lower corner with the same one that I used earlier. And then I highlighted my brow bone using a matte white eyeshadow. It just kind of gives like a finishing touch to it. It's not a huge difference, but I went ahead and applied some mascara to my bottom lashes as well, of course. And to bronze up my face and slightly contour, I'll be using the Milk Chocolate bronzer from Too Faced, which smells so good. And I used a big fan brush, and I don't usually apply bronzer this way, but I can say now that I probably will do this from now on. It works really well and gives like a really pretty subtle finish to your bronzer. So I just bronzed like the perimeter of my face, and then for blush I used Milani's Baked Blush in the color Luminoso, and I'm so glad that I used this blush because it was so radiant and the peachy color just tied in so perfectly with the eyeshadow, and it's one of my all-time favorite blushes anyways. And then to highlight, I used my Becca and Jaclyn Hill highlighter in Champagne Pop, and once again, like, how could you just not want to use that, especially with a look like this? I think it really tied the whole look together. And then for lips, I used one of the ColourPop Ultra Satin lips, and I think this is called Littlestitious, but I will leave it in the description box below. The texture is very similar to the NYX Lingerie liquid lipsticks. If you guys are curious how they feel, they are way more hydrating than the original like ultra matte lips from ColourPop, but I love them both anyways. So that is the finished look. I hope that you guys really liked it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and also subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.